Welcome to Let's Get Dumb, the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallon, and my boy over here, comedian Jonah Jurkens, like to ask dumb questions, tell dumb stories, and just have a dumb old time with you. Jonah, how are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic, Joe. How are you?
I'm pretty goddamn good. I'm very excited for our guest because this dude's awesome. There's certain people in comedy that whenever you see them, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm glad to see this guy. And he's fucking a killer on stage. He's got a great podcast himself that we'll talk all about eventually. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Chris Bader, how are you?
Hey. It's good to see you guys in this beautiful set.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm having my first drink in 5 days.
In 5 days?
Yeah, I had I don't know. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't the flu because I'm a hypochondriac. I got tested for both.
Yeah.
And I think it was like just bronchitis.
Okay.
I was traveling a little bit and then I got home. I was a little worn down. I had a horrible cough since like Wednesday. And then it like really subsided today. I had some energy, but best sleep I've had in like 4 years.
Did you get all fucked up on NyQuil?
I'd have 2 NyQuil, like
Yeah.
2 the pills. Around 11 o'clock, I watched 3 movies in 3 days.
What movies?
I watched Air.
Great movie.
It was great. You watched it
I
yet?
haven't seen it yet. No.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
I cried.
Yeah, that last scene was pretty good.
The last scene with the mom, because I watched it on Mother's Day. We're not going to give away the movie too much.
Yeah.
But
By the way, everyone, Air is a movie directed by Ben Affleck, starring Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, and Chris Tucker. It is about how they court Michael Jordan, this guy who's really good at bouncing a basketball.
it's about a shoe. Yeah.
It's about how the shoe. How Air
which
Jordan
changes
came
the
about,
whole, yeah. Anyways,
I was
great
fucking
movie
around
suggested.
because you launched into Air and then you made it whatever.
Yeah, but it's on Amazon Prime.
So you want to give it away. We know what Nike signs Jordan. We all know that part, right?
Well, I don't want to give away the whole movie.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
This is the podcast.
Dude,
by
I was
the way.
watching this movie with a young Leonardo DiCaprio. It's him and Kate Winslet, really young. They're on a boat. I don't want to give it away. It sinks. It's the boat.
Is it the
sinks,
beach?
though.
Have you seen the?
It's not the beach.
Is that the movie
Titanic.
Beach?
It's Titanic.
Oh.
It's just like it just made me laugh that you're like, I don't want to give it away.
Don't ever let
when
go.
it's a biographical movie.
Right.
You can.
Well, I don't want to give away the scene because it's a
Oh,
very
the
important
scene.
scene at the end.
Alright.
Yeah, Joe. See,
Yeah,
if
there
you
are
listen.
there is stuff.
This the scene where they win.
No.
That where the guy wins.
Well, I guess
No,
Joe
the
doesn't.
Damon's
You
character
know what?
has a victory.
Wait a second. Have you seen the movie?
No, but I
Then
know
you don't know the
sto-
fuck I'm talking about.
I know Michael
So
Jordan
that's the thing
signs with
is-
Nike.
Yeah. You're like, don't get don't.
I gotta be honest. I don't think Joe needs to watch the movie because it sounds like he
Well,
already knows.
I mean,
it.
here's the
I
thing:
do.
is I can give it away now, and then he won't watch it, or he
Don't
can watch
do that
it,
to
and
our
then he can
listeners.
emotionally hit.
This
hit
is
it.
coming out in summertime. Maybe our listeners had that on their summer list of movies to watch. So
Which
don't
is-
give it away.
But if they're
Why I
Michael
just
Jordan,
said I'm not going to give it away. That's
I
why I said
know,
I don't want to
but
give
like-
away anything. I mean, yes, it is based on truth.
We got to set
And
this up where when I like, look how unprofessional this looks. I'm leaning for my drink and I'm like blocking you, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Can we
Yeah.
get tables yay high?
So
close
what
to
was
me?
the second movie you watched,
Sorry.
Chris?
Yeah.
who's the mob's accountant? I texted you about it. Myron.
Watched a movie called Myron?
No, the shoot. He was Lucky Luciano's partner. The movie is his name. It was a very good movie, but I can't. I think it's Myron something. He was the
Next
mob's
one, next one.
accountant.
This is
Yeah.
just-
It's a new movie?
Yeah.
You know, people listening are going to be like, is this fucking
No,
movie,
it came out in
idiots?
2021. Yeah, so I would say that's fairly new.
Okay.
I'm excited to see John Wick 4, which I think comes out on streaming in like 4 days.
It comes,
Lansky, Myron Lansky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lansky was a
Oh, with how old is fucking, who's ever in that now? What's his name? He was in Reservoir Dogs, producer.
yes.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey
How
Keitel.
fucking
Oh, I
old is
thought he
Harvey
was dead.
Keitel
Dude.
now? Look, is he dead now?
Oh,
No.
Here's the problem. Those people.
This
who
comes
look
out in
up
summer.
Mandy-
This comes out later on. Maybe
He's
he's dead now.
dead when it comes out.
Spoiler.
I'm gonna look right into the
Spoiler
camera.
alert.
This was filmed 6 weeks before you're watching it.
Actually,
Right.
yeah, I think COVID got him.
You think so? Whoa, he's been dead for a while now.
Vaccine killed him.
The vaccine killed him, right? Because of what's
No,
in there.
Myron Lansky. It was a really good movie too.
Yeah.
But the thing that sucks is you see these people and like Harvey as they get old, and I'm like, man, I'm old.
Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Harvey Keitel's alive.
No, I know.
He's 84.
84. God damn.
Yeah, but you think like they're old now,
Yeah.
and like I'm old. Now.
You're moving to a microphone that's not there.
You're not in the 80s.
Sorry.
You're not in your 80s though.
I know, but
You're only
I
40.
think about those guys. I'm 32.
Sure. Okay, I know this is an audio medium,
sometimes
but
you
you
don't
look
have to ask
fucking
dumb questions
terrible.
for people to be dumb.
You look if you're 32, god damn it, you got to fix some things. But if you're 40, you look great.
Thinking about getting breast implants.
I could see that. Why not? Would you play with them every day?
Oh my God, how could you not?
Would you? Okay, honestly, would you?
What's your dumb question?
Would you get breast implants?
What's your dumb question?
What would you? What's
No.
the first thing you would do if you got breast
Oh.
implants?
What's the first? No,
topless beach?
let's reword the question. I'm sorry. The question is, what would you
Would you
do
expose-
if you had tits? You woke up one day and you had a great pair of boobs like a woman would. What would you do with them? Because when you say, what would you do if you got breast implants, implies that you wanted the breast implants.
Right.
You don't want the breast
Okay, so if you woke
It's
up,
a happy accident to wake up with a
you're
beautiful
so
rack.
mad. This is
I'm not
horrible.
so mad. I'm just, though, here's the thing. But Chris, before we go forward further in this podcast, we've done this to every one of our guests, and I apologize to you the most. The rest of the guests didn't really care for personally, but I really like you. Okay, so I do want to apologize in advance. I need a 2-minute thing with Jonah real quick. Dude, you are hilarious to me because you're not a dad, but you have insane dad tendencies. I talked about before the podcast started. Anytime, like Austin, our producer, is laughing right now, but if I'm like sitting here quietly for like 2 seconds, say I itch my nose, he'll be like, is everything okay? Are you having trouble breathing out of your nose? Do you need a medication for that? I just want, is everything okay?
If you want,
Like he's overly concerned constantly. We're fine, man.
Right.
Okay? Everything's going to be okay.
What does that have to do
And
with
just
what we're
because
just
I
talking
say something to you doesn't mean I'm mad at you. Every time I say something to him that's a little, my voice isn't like jolly Joe.
Right.
He thinks I'm fucking angry.
okay,
and I'm
so
not.
my rebuttal, what's happening right now?
And I give it,
So
no,
your heart's clearly
there's no
upset.
rebuttal.
And you know why? Because
no, you said I'm upset, I'm not
you scratch
upset.
your eye and you're like, you went like this. And scratch, and
That's
then I'm
how
right
people
next to you, so
act.
I'm just
That's
making
a
sure you're
normal-
okay.
I'm
a caring person.
I think.
You are you? I guess.
How am I not?
Honestly,
You're caring. Suppose. You're oblivious though. That's for goddamn sure.
I'm for sure not.
one of the reasons I came here
You gave
is
yourself a
because-
compliment, and so I'm tearing you down now. Go ahead.
No,
You said he's a
one of the
caring
reasons I
person.
did this
He's
pod is
fucking-
because Joe is probably one of the calmest guys I know.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. That's why I agreed to do it with him.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
Jonah, you're one of the
Begged.
most generous guys I know.
Thank you. So are you.
he is. Yeah.
Very generous with your whiskey.
Uh-huh.
So, do you have any dumb questions for me?
He's only generous because we know not generous people, but he is generous.
That's you know what I would agree with Joe.
Yeah.
So the people who are listening who aren't part of comedy, like comedians are the most selfish piece of shit
Yes.
people in the whole entire world.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that you even think like, hey, do you need something to drink? They're like, oh my God, Jonah's the nicest person in the world. It's like, no, I just like, I'm a normal person.
No, you're a very nice person.
Yeah.
You're a sweet guy.
Yeah. You should say that and mean it next time. Jesus Christ.
Did it sound like I didn't mean it the way I just said it?
Yeah. Can we replay that, Austin?
We can't. We don't have that kind of
Oh, okay.
technology.
We don't
I
have
think
that yet.
a good name for this podcast would be Issues.
True.
It would last 3 more episodes then.
Yeah.
And that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
He already wants to replace me with Greg Kennedy. I don't know if you know that. He's a big Greg Kennedy guy. Over
Greg
there.
Kennedy. Greg.
Previous guest
Wait, am
on
I looking
the-
at which camera?
Greg Kennedy was a comedian who was
Yeah.
on 3 episodes ago.
Greg Kennedy is a hack,
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
and he knows how I feel about him.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like when I first met him, he put his hand out and I'm like, get down on your fucking knees and kiss my fucking ring. Do you know who I am in the Chicago comedy scene? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh my God.
I don't even
And when
know
you
who
get down
I
there,
am.
be happy I don't kick you in the fucking jaw. It's ridiculous, man. Jonah showed me that kind of respect when he first moved down from Milwaukee to Chicago.
Uh-huh.
He
You
knew.
live in Milwaukee,
He knew.
That's where I'm from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew
but
up there.
like, where is there to live in Milwaukee? I know like the one block that's nice, but like, what else is there?
That's
Nothing.
all from Milwaukee listeners.
There's nothing. I mean, Milwaukee is nice now. It's a fun.
No,
it's a fun
Milwaukee's
town
fun.
to drink in, and it's changed a lot. I've been down here in Chicago for 15 years. It's currently 2028. We finally released this episode, and we still look the same. Harvey Keitel still alive. Everything's going great.
We have a lot of the CGI done to us, those guys did in that one movie.
de-aging. Yeah. The Indiana. Yeah, whatever.
The Irishman,
But
the Indian man.
If you, Indian man, yeah. I ended that thought on a very problematic part, where I was going to talk about the Indiana Jones movie because Harrison Ford's de-aging is being called out right now. But anyways, Milwaukee is a fun town to drink in for a weekend, and that's about it.
But
And I love it. I have nothing against it. But if you're in
is there like
Chicago-
Milwaukee suburbs?
Yeah, I'm from Wauwatosa.
Yeah. Brookfield's
Okay.
a nice
Yeah.
suburb.
Brookfield's not. You know Brookfield?
Well, because there used to be a comedy club there when I first started. I got
Oh,
That's
okay.
true. Yeah.
Giggles Comedy Pub. It was the
Yeah.
first road gig I've ever done.
Yeah.
What was
yeah.
that like? Your first road gig?
It was fucking awesome, actually. I
It
really
was?
liked it. Yeah, I was really pumped. It felt like, I don't know, it just felt cool to, I remember like a day or two before someone, like a non-comedian friend, I didn't really hang out with comedians until I was a few years in. Like, it was probably a mistake, but I remember one of my friends being like, hey, we're going to go, it's so-and-so's birthday. We might go down to these bars. We're thinking about going over here. What do you got going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm in Milwaukee this weekend. 6 shows, 4 days. It just felt cool to be like, can't do it. I'm like in another city telling jokes. It just felt awesome. And then I remember doing really well and thinking if I were people, because like the feature and the headline were selling merch. And they go, are you selling anything? And I'm like, no, it's, the MC really doesn't. At the time, I'm like, oh, it's going to be great. And then I thought, I'm going to be the biggest star in comedy. And then here I am 13, 14 years later. And I got a kid named Austin who stares at me funny. That's my life now.
That's your son's
Anyway,
name?
no, that's your producer's name.
Oh.
Austin.
Austin, our producer, produces your podcast, Chris.
No, I like
which is
my
a great
sons looking at
podcast.
me.
So
Yeah.
the first time you ever did the road, right? Or like when you started doing the road, what was like the worst experience you've ever had?
So I admittedly,
When you're like, oh, maybe comedy's not what I thought it was.
that happens to me like every fourth set. But admittedly, I was always very comfortable in my setting in Chicago where we could go around, do showcase sets, build an hour that way. So the first time I actually did the road, so I was going to LA a lot. I was doing the Laugh Factory there, and I was kind of spoiled. And then somebody said, hey, you should do like the Laugh Factory Las Vegas, or you should do more out of town stuff or apply for festivals so you can really see how your comedy translates. And I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, there's different people in the audience. So I did Laugh Factory Las Vegas.
Right.
And I just had like a...
Do you remember what year this was?
Yeah, 2014.
Okay.
So I just had like it was a 31st birthday show at Laugh Factory Chicago. Everybody, it's like bringer though, like your friends, family, some fans after 2 years if you have fans.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm going to Las Vegas. I'm doing 14 shows. I'm featuring. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Big Ange was the headliner. The first show. Big Angelo Jurkens.
Okay.
He's a originally Canadian comedian, very funny guy. Big guy, like fatter guy, but like
if you saw
Greek
him.
guy.
Yeah, you know him. He's had
really
parts.
funny, very likable,
Yeah.
and such a sweet guy. I'll make the story short, but like so
I like him. I met him
I
a
got
couple
to the Tropicana, so I really felt like a road guy,
Yeah.
Like at the Tropicana, they give you the breakfast card, and they
Nice.
say you eat in the basement, and that's where you get your free food.
Right.
And I was like, okay, and I went to
Because
the
your
basement.
talent, because that's where they put the talent.
Talent.
Yeah.
And
in the
I'm
basement.
not exaggerating.
Yeah.
This is Tropicana, like it looked like 50-year-old rooms.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating. You go to the basement, it's like a 1980s movie of like a high school cafeteria.
Oh,
they
nice.
all have the hairnets.
Yeah.
Like it takes you back. It's like powdered eggs. There's oranges, bananas. I'm like, oh,
We're just putting like slop.
yeah. I was like,
on
I'm just
your-
gonna get like McDonald's or something. Like I'm not gonna. And my first set, I go out there. It's a room that probably fits 225 total.
Yeah.
The not even like the chairs are just like very removable, like short chairs, and comedy club, like dark.
Right.
And I go out there, I think they're all gonna like me. The host does well. She's like a 20-year comic. I eat shit for 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
But I got off at 14 because
Okay,
I was
of
eating
course.
shit so bad.
Yeah.
And then I go in the lobby. I'm totally sweating through my shirt.
Ugh.
And I go in the lobby. I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I can't do this. I hope the next show is better. Because there's 2 shows a night you do.
Yeah.
Second show, just as bad. So then I'm like, how do I go home? Do I tell them that I'm sick? And Big Ange comes to the lobby. He's holding a cigar. He's like, hey, Chicago, what's up with you? He's like, I heard you were funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, when? I'm like, not tonight.
Like,
This is not
who
good.
fucking lied to you?
And he said, he's like, people might have lost money. He's like, they don't want to be there. They probably maybe got free tickets. It's like, not everybody's coming to see me.
Yeah.
He said, just talk to him. What'd you do today? I was like, I got in. I had $50. I went and played blackjack, and I was up 100, and then I lost all of it. And I was like, shit. I was like, I could have bought a couch. And I was just having, he's laughing. He's like, why don't you open with that? I was like, no, but I have these. He's like, just first few minutes,
Right.
tell
Tell
him that.
them how sad you are.
So I opened the next night with that. Like I was like, anybody gamble, anybody losing? And then they're like, yeah, some people talk. And then I said the couch thing. I was like, I'm like, I forgot about fucking. They're all laughing. And then I told my jokes.
Right.
And afterwards, I was just like lit up. And I wanted to talk to Ange, but he had to go on. He's like,
Right.
I'll talk to you when you're
Yeah,
done.
Yeah.
And I did 12 more shows.
Damn.
I got like progressively better.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was like, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
it was like
it's
awesome.
It's like my family skis a lot, and then their whole thing is like, if you want to become a good skier, just do the black diamond first. Just go fucking down it. Like you might get hurt or whatever, but like everything seems easier after that. And it's the same thing. Just get thrown out to the wolves. When I first started, I was in a club in Milwaukee, and it was my first job hosting. And for the people listening, like hosting is your first gig when you first start doing it. And I was like so excited, and I was like nervous. I'm finally getting paid as a comedian. And this guy who's like a road guy was headlining, and I was talking to him afterwards or before the show, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Jonah, I'm your host. Like, do you want me to say anything?" And he's like talking to me, and he's picking up. I'm noticing he's picking up cigarettes off the ground, and he's putting them in a shoebox. And I go, what are you doing there? He goes, hey, this is if you're new at this. And I go, yeah. He goes, very important tip. This is gonna help you out, save you a lot of money. He goes, collect all these cigarettes. I stomp them down in the mornings, and I make my own cigarettes, and I don't have to pay for cigarettes anymore. Made a lot of money. He's like, I saved a lot of money. And I was like, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard. And then I also was like, you're the thing I want to be. Like, you're like, that's what I want to become. Like, when you first start comedy, you are just doing like, you're seeing life, like sad, like some bullshit. I did so you also do like one-nighters. So you string one-nighters together, and like they kind of like put them together. So you drive a lot. So you drive like for like a whole weekend. And a lot of times when you're new, you pick up that headlining comedian that headlines those, and you drive them up, right? I know you guys know, but for the people listening, and I had to pick up this comedian, and I'm driving. I had my little iPod back then with a tape deck in my car, and I'm listening. And I'm driving, so I'm like, I get to kind of control the music. The first thing he does, he goes, hey, do you mind if I put on something? And I'm like, sure, like whatever. And he puts it on, and it's this country song. And he goes, you like this? And it's like this old school, like outlaw country. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's good. It's good. He goes, yeah, this is my dad. And I go, oh, that's cool. Your dad's like a singer. He goes, yeah, I didn't know that. I just found that out. He actually abandoned me when I was
The
young.
guy that you're with.
Yeah, the guy with. He goes, yeah. He decided to go fucking go for his career, and he goes, he left me, left my fucking mom. Fuck you, you piece of shit, you fucking piece of shit, fuck you. And he goes, fuck that guy, right? Fuck that guy, but it's good, right? It's good. And he starts listening, and then I have to do 10 more hours on the road with this guy.
Is this a bit, or he was serious?
No, he's serious. I saw him have at least 6 breakdowns during the whole weekend, and I'm like the same thing. I'm like, that's my future. Like, I'm a year in, and this guy's like 15 years in, and I'm like, okay, this business destroys you. Sorry, Joe.
No, I was gonna say, do you think any young comics watching this are immediately gonna be like, I'm done, I'm quitting? That sounds
no, they're not. Because they're gonna be
No,
like,
they're gonna be like,
no.
they're
Your
not looking
story,
up to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not looking up to us, but just hearing what it's like getting into it.
It's insane. It's dumb. It's stupid.
Would you
Like,
still
what
get?
do you-
Would you both still get into stand up knowing what you know now?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because we all know we're just chasing the dragon.
Yeah.
Like, it's those nights where, for us at this level, like, they laugh. You're like, okay, cool, and you're still like, why weren't they falling out of their seats? And then it's the nights where like they're falling out of their seats, and all these people come up to you, and we're attention whores, and then you think, oh, I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, because maybe there'll be more people in other cities and then in the whole world.
What's the dumbest? We all been heckled. I won't say dumbest, but to me, it's like, what's the stupidest or best heckle you've ever gotten, where you're either like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or like, man, you got me good on that.
The Comedy Bar has a show called the Tomato Throw Show.
Right.
And I have said to them,
Which
What
is
is-
a
what is
show
that?
here in
Yeah,
Chicago.
explain what
It's a
that
show
is.
here in
so
Chicago.
it's Nerf Tomatoes, and it's a show here in Chicago, and they did it where it was free for residences in the area. They actually built it pretty well, where it was a solid crowd for a Tuesday when they had their now that's a different downtown location, but one of their original downtown locations. And you'd get a little cute basket of 6 Nerf tomatoes.
Right.
And all the comics on the list would do 5 minutes, and there
For
was
free.
for free.
Right.
And there's like 10 vets.
Yeah.
This was the last way they did it. Yeah, for free. And there's like 10 vets. So it was all people like 4 to 5 years or more in comedy. And the one who had the least tomatoes would get $100.
So the audience gets these tomatoes, these Nerf tomatoes, and they had the ability to throw them at the comedian whenever they wanted.
Correct.
That's what we signed up for free.
For free.
Yeah,
So
that's
we-
what you
we-
do when you first start doing
torture.
comedy. You're like, is
no,
it stage time?
I was 7 years in.
Right.
Like, but
No, I was too, and
yeah.
I've done that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done
And
that show.
it was
Yeah.
just torture. So
Right.
like, and Russ Williamson had the funniest thing. He's like, "Why would anybody do this show?" He's like,
Right.
"This is the stupidest."
And I'm like,
Like,
I'm hired.
and I'm like, I'm walking over, guys. So like, I went there. It was a Tuesday. There was like 25 people,
Right.
and I was bombing. But you're at a level where if you're bombing sometimes and there's 25 people, you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going deeper and deeper because I know the club will have me back.
Right.
So at this point, I'm not trying to get out of it. I'm like, I'm doing a fucking free set. It's 5 minutes. It's like probably minute 3. And I'm just like, fuck this. And I go more and more. And one lady in the back says, stop. And I said, that was my mom. I was like, she's telling me to stop. She's
Classic.
like, no, you need to stop forever. And at that
That's
moment,
amazing.
I didn't have a rebuttal. And I was like, you're probably right. And I got off stage, and that was the whole 25 people, the staff, the audience members, the comics. They were all watching their own dreams die. Like,
Yeah.
in that moment,
Yeah.
she's like, you just stop.
How much did you wish that you were at such a low point, you just had a gun in the back of your head and then blew your brains out? And then that woman has to live with that for the rest of her life. What a better rebuttal to, hey, stop, this needs to stop. And you go, you know what? I should. And just blow your fucking
We
brains
should all get
out.
one free kill myself.
Yeah.
Or like you're not really dead, you're just dead.
Yeah,
for
but
a
then-
little bit,
yeah.
and then like a free life like in a video
Dude,
game, right?
Yeah, you get one murder.
Well, how do you use it?
One suicide mulligan where you could just
Yes.
like kill yourself in front of somebody.
How many times was I dumped in high school where I thought, man, if I could just have a fake funeral
Right.
so she knows what she's missing and how many people would show up.
Okay, let's pitch this at a Shark Tank right now. Okay. Hey, Sharks, have you ever been...
There's the camera.
Hey,
Have you been
Sharks.
so low that you're like, everyone's going to change if I'm not here forever, where you think, hey,
Yeah. What's your point? Do you have a story like that?
a fake funeral, Sharks.
Oh,
Just
where
a
I'd wanna
bad
kill
heckle?
myself
Well, you
just
like
to
that
piss
every
them
day,
off?
but like
Yeah.
a heckle thing?
How many times this week? I was trying while Chris was telling his story. I was trying to think of a bad heckle situation where I can't think of any where they've gotten me. I think every now and then someone says something where I just slightly go, you know what, that's not bad. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
But rarely.
Even when you started?
Anything I've started when I started.
No, when you started, like, what's the heckle
No,
that sticks out for
honestly,
you?
this is gonna sound cocky, but I think I got good at. I never really struggled with hecklers.
Yeah.
That's always something I've been able to do because I
'Cause
first
you're
realized
scary and aggressive.
Yes, and I first realized I was funny when
You
I
even
was younger.
said yes in a scary and aggressive way.
I didn't think it was, but sure,
Yeah.
it's my default setting, I suppose. But when I was first like, you know when you figure out you're funny
Our
amongst
son
your
over
friend
here with
groups,
their whiskey.
I was good at comebacks. Like when we do like
Yeah.
people would insult you, we were like roasting each other. That was
Yeah.
like a big deal, like in 4th, 5th grade, and I was awesome at them to the point where people were like, I'm not even gonna mess with this kid; he's too quick. And so I was always good at comebacks. And dealing with a heckler is nothing but doing comebacks.
Right.
Someone talks shit to you, you talk shit back to them. Like I had that one that I think I told on episode 3 of this podcast where I got called to stage. Blake brings me up, I think. And Blake Burkett's a funny comedian. He'll be on this podcast eventually. And right before I even take the mic out of the stand,
Another hack.
before I take the mic out of the stand,
He's the funniest.
this person who I can't see really, but I could tell it was a white girl by her voice, was like, another white man.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that shit? You
No,
were
I
at the
remember this.
show.
I was here, yeah.
And I didn't even get to my first joke. I was
And-
like, what the fuck? And I was like, so pissed already.
Was she
because-
white?
Yes.
That's
she
the
was
best.
She was with a group
It's
of like
always
4 or
white
5
people
white
who
girls and
complain
one
about
black
it.
friend.
The
And
one
I
thing-
was following Victoria Vincent, who's a black female comedian. So it's
Right.
like, I don't understand.
I'm going to interject 1 second. And if you know Joe Kilgallon and you know that this woman doesn't really know who Joe is and she says that to him, everyone that knows Joe is just like, here it comes. And it was so amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I've built, the listeners, I've built quite a reputation for being a little bit.
But you are so
loose
good
cannon.
at it. That's my point. You're so good at
Well, I
it.
remember one time we had something, this is way early on, and then I'll get back to this woman who was like, another white man, where early on there were some people being dickish when we were just starting Comedians You Should Know, Timothy O'Toole's our downtown location. And, we weren't a hit yet. We were just starting out. So we had some big crowds, some small, back and forth or whatever.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What's the address?
622 North Fairbanks.
Oh, fuck. I
Chicago,
had no idea.
Illinois.
Okay. I was hoping we both wouldn't know where our show is at. Damn, that was
How do you
good.
not know the address?
I don't know. I'm an idiot.
You are dumb. Get
Yeah.
it? So I was like, this guy just started chirping, and then I look at everyone was trying to tell me to relax because we didn't want something to go wrong. I think we had a bad Yelp review the week before or something. We still cared about that at the time. We're like 9 weeks into our show. And I just give Danny Kels a look, who's like the godfather of Chicago comedy, the main producer. And he just gives me a look and goes, get him, Joey. And then I just fucking tore into this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Tore into him. And then he got kind of tough with me back. And I said, yeah, I'm good at two things, making people laugh and beating the living fuck out of people. Please make me a hero tonight. Please let me do both. That's all I've wanted, is to be able to do both. If I can make people laugh and I could kick your fucking teeth, and please, I'm begging you. And then he just didn't say anything else.
Yeah.
And then the audience just cheered, which was great, because if they didn't, it's one of the more psychotic moments ever.
Yeah.
Think about me finishing that. Please let me kick your fucking teeth in. And everyone's really quiet, and they slowly start to leave the fucking showroom. But with this woman who was like, ugh, another white guy, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't follow a white person. So what are you talking about? All this shit. And I go, what kind of bullshit thing is that to say? You know what I mean?
Right.
I took 2 fucking trains to get here, and that's what you're going to fucking do? Like, you piece of shit. I like went nuts.
Yeah.
And then like I start to get back on, I'm tracking it material going. I'm getting the crowd laughing a bit and all that stuff. And then because I had the crowd back in my hands, I said to her, I was like, sorry, I called you a dumb bitch. And then she said, yeah, I might be a bitch, but don't call me dumb.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, well, you don't have to be a cunt about it.
Great.
And that like got a big,
Great.
So, yeah, thank you.
Chris is still are you deciding if it's funny or not?
No, it's funny.
Hey, how about this, Chris? Repeat the last 2 sentences you just said. Were you listening?
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Don't call me a bitch. She's like, and he said, you're a cunt.
That's not.
No,
it's close.
The beat the shit. I was trying to differentiate if it was he was talking to the woman, because he started it by saying there was
2 different
woman.
stories.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
he
it was
threw
the
2 different
dude.
stories together.
Are you on an edible
Yeah.
right now?
No.
Okay.
no.
Joe
I am.
is. Yeah.
I had one drink.
I can't wait to watch the playback
It's great.
of this,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I
I'm
was
with 2
like this.
fucking pussies right now. Is what's going on. I can't
Oh,
handle
why?
this fucking alcohol, and can't handle your weed.
I tried
I had half a
your
gummy, man.
Yeah.
Kings County Distillery straight bourbon whiskey.
Is that
Yeah.
Kings County, New York?
I would not buy from this distillery, Kings County. They won't be a sponsor. I think
Really
I think
bad.
that was so. Whenever I go on the
Yeah.
road,
It's in New York.
whenever
I said it too.
Yeah.
I did not just say you fucking heard me say
Yeah.
that, Austin.
Yeah.
I was there from New York.
Whenever
because
I'm-
I know New York has a Kings County. Anyway.
Whenever I go to a new city, I try to buy that city's bourbon, like that city's like distillery bourbon.
What for?
I just like to try new things. So like when I was,
But half of these aren't even open.
that's not true. But when I turned 30,
That's not open. That's not open.
right, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this on an audio medium. That
All right.
one's not open.
It's not an
It's
audio
open.
medium.
Like that. Yeah, yeah.
By the way, it's early, but we're getting more YouTube than audio,
True.
I feel like. So
True, but
it is an audio medium anymore.
yeah, I just try to do that. But my heckle story.
Yeah, what's your heckle story?
And when I started, I do more stories. And when I started, I tried doing the story about getting bullied as a young kid. And I finished it, and nobody really laughed. And I kind of looked at this guy who kind of looked at me weird, who's kind of like paying attention the whole time. And I was like, hey, did you like that story? And he goes, yeah, it was interesting. And I was like, you thought it was pretty interesting? He goes, yeah, that's a really interesting story. And I go, funny? And he goes, yeah, it's fine. And then I go, I guess it's a little too long, huh? And he goes, fucking A. And the way he was so nice, and just goes, fucking A. And I was like, that's the greatest heckle I've ever heard. It's fucking A.
It's so good.
And then, so when you first start, so in Chicago, you get 10-minute sets here or there, right? And it's hard.
15.
It used to be 15.
Now they
but
put
it's-
30 comics on a show.
The point is it's hard to build, it's hard to like build longer sets. It's easy, like you can build 10-minute sets here or there, but it's hard to like do a consistent like 30-minute set and realizing like, oh, I have to bring him here and stuff like that. And I had a lot of jokes about my ex-girlfriend. And at Laugh Factory, when I first opened here in Chicago, you would do 20 minutes. And so I'm like, oh, I'll do 20 minutes. And I did those 20 minutes, and this girl up front was just looking at me kind of weird. And I'm like, she was just like, like that. And I go, what's the matter? She goes, do you just fucking hate your ex-girlfriend? And I go, well, no.
Yeah.
I go,
Listen, stupid.
I go, no. And she goes, every joke you have is about your ex-girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, but they're all funny. And she goes, yeah, but like, can you talk about something else? I'm like, oh, like you have to think like this in 10 minutes is good, but like this for 20 minutes is too much. You know what I mean?
Not to cut you off there at the end, but you took a heckle as constructive criticism.
Of course I did.
Everybody else would have been like, hey, shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, God forbid you look at the comments.
My set is
Yeah.
about my ex-girlfriend. Do you have a problem with that? Don't worry, there'll be up someone next, and maybe they'll talk about the cupcakes and lollipops you want to hear. Okay, sweets. That's what I'd say.
Holy shit, you went back to 2008 there.
Yeah, man.
Holy Lord. Holy Lord.
Sweets.
Yeah.
Like,
You call
I
her
was gonna
sugar
call
tits?
That's my next favorite one.
Sugar tits?
Yeah. I call people sugar tits, and I refer to myself as spicy dick.
Spicy dick?
Yeah, man.
It's because you give everybody that.
By the
COVID,
way, Bader did an Instagram story of
spicy dick. It sounds like you got a
podcast,
problem with your
and
dick.
it's from our producer. Stop talking. And it's
It
from our
does.
producer's angle. We both look chubby from this angle. That's why I wanted you to raise the camera up higher, man. That picture he posted on his Instagram stories, Bader, I saw it 3 minutes ago. And Austin
You might
took
want
it.
to delete it unless you want to find a new job.
No, I don't care.
we
I
have to
look
prove
chubby.
the angles.
I look chubby. So now I've
Are
been
you
sucking
fucking
it
serious?
in.
Did you do that? Did you say these guys both look chubby?
No, I'm saying
We have to prove the
I want to be in a
angles.
fucking tailspin for a week now. Do you
I
understand
just
that?
told him.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't
Look-
want to see it. I
look
don't
at
want to see
the
it. I don't want to see
fucking
it. I don't want to see it. Not
I
gonna see it.
definitely
He has
look
no
like I got a
sense of
fucking
angles.
guts.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna see it because, like, like, here's something dumb about me is that, like, even as a child, when I was getting my haircut, I couldn't look myself in the mirror. Right? That's a really weird, like thing I have where I can't. I hate because Joe asked these questions we'll get into, but like, and one of my answers was like, the point is like, if I could get rid of mirrors, I would because I hate the way I look. Which is because all three of us are like, attractive men, I would say. So what's your weird?
Dude, he looks like a fucking Persian George Clooney. Look at this handsome
Agreed.
son of a bitch over
Yeah.
here. Not to call
One
you mom,
fine
but-
day.
Let's not
one
jinx
fine
it. Let's not
podcast.
jinx it.
I did a reference to a movie nobody got. What's your weird?
What's the dumbest thing you've ever ate?
Huh?
The dumbest thing you've ever
He's
ate?
No, I
getting,
got
he's
it.
getting the podcast back on theme. What's the dumbest thing I've ever eaten?
Or you've ordered. Maybe you guys don't use
I'd say this.
the
So I
apps
did
a
a
lot, but
show.
you've ordered and you're like, why the fuck did I order this?
I did a show in Milwaukee, and the owner was like, "Hey, we do this shot, and I'm going to give you one." It was a pickled scorpion and a shot of Jameson, where the scorpion would come out, and he goes, "We're the only ones in the world. We're the only ones in the U.S. that do this." And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And then I did it, and I swallowed the whole thing. My friend chewed it, which is even worse. And then, man, I got diarrhea for a couple days after that. But that's the grossest thing where I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do that, dude. And then it just did not. Like, why? You asked a question and you're sick of my answer? What's going on here?
No, I'm not sick of it at all.
Yeah.
Ow.
What's your answer to that? Because you had it locked and loaded.
No,
there.
Joe, you got it? The
I
dumbest
don't.
thing you've ever ate?
I don't. I was a picky eater for a really, really long time. Like embarrassingly.
You still
picky.
are.
Not as bad though. I'm better than most Americans.
Yeah.
Now. I was below average before. Like I didn't have a lot of things that you're like, get the fuck out of here. You didn't have that until you were that age for real. Now I like sushi and Indian food and stuff like that, which I wouldn't even touched it. If you'd have said, I remember one time there was a meeting of our group community you should know before you were in it, the good old days. And and at the meeting, comedian Drew Michael was like, all right, well, let's get some food and then we'll have the meeting. What do you guys think? You guys want Persian? And I just looked at him like, have we just met? Are you fucking dumb? Like, I want that gross ass garbage, right? You know what I mean? I wanted like good, like cheeseburgers, French fries, and stuff like that. By the way, it's not gross ass garbage. I know you're Persian, and I said that hoping to get a rise out of you, but it didn't even register to either of you fucking people. Like, I was purposely saying something negative about our friend's culture, and you just went with it.
Hey, Joe.
You should have been
Joe.
in fear.
That
You
would
should
mean
have stuck
that
up for
I'm
him.
Joe.
easily offended.
Joe.
I know.
Joe.
I actually like Indian food.
Joe.
Indian food.
Joseph.
It's a joking.
No,
You're not
that's
Indian.
fucked up.
You're not Indian.
Joseph. Joseph.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Oh my God, dude.
Are you
look
sure?
at Austin. Look at me, dude. Episode 10. He finally makes me laugh. He finally got me to chuckle. Oh, dude, that was a good one, man. Great callback, buddy.
Hey.
That was good. That was good.
It was a really good callback.
Joe.
I think
Yeah.
you're finally
No, he's
getting
good. Now he's
it.
gonna beat
You're
the horse.
understanding the
Yeah.
essence.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine, man. Why? Do I feel like I'm not okay?
Yeah.
I'm okay. Your eyes look a little. Did you smoke some ganja?
No, I always have huge pupils. Everybody thinks I have. Everybody thinks I'm high all the time, but I have like really bad eyesight. So
Austin's nodding along like, oh, I've noticed the huge pupils.
yeah, it's terribly big.
know what I
Pupils.
feel like,
it's nice to have
Austin?
like gorgeous blue eyes.
Austin, if I didn't know any better, you're that friend who is friends with someone after someone else and then tries to become better friends with them. You guys remember that guy? It usually happened in grade school. They'll be like, you introduce them, right? You're like, hey, Mikey, this is Johnny. And then 3 months later, Mikey's talking about Johnny, like, oh, it's a me and Johnny thing. And it's like, you would even fucking know Johnny without me. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's
He's a
happening.
sneaky turd.
Sneaky
You've already
turd.
showered. You're out the door.
You wear this.
You've already gone.
You gotta poop. Yeah.
And then you have to poop. And that's
you?
Austin showing up.
Yeah. Okay, so in that instance for you, like you're going on a date, right? Do you shove it back up there or do you poop?
Oh, I delay everything.
Like delay the date or delay the poop?
delay the date.
Ugh, it's
You delay-
disgusting. What is this?
Yeah, everything I've had so
water,
far.
you're drinking
Oh, is this yours?
Oh, that was
You
that
put
was some
oh,
water
I thought that was
thing,
for me. It was right in front of my whiskey glass.
Oh, overall, I would say that whatever my rider said, you did not abide by it. As far as like
Terrible.
green
Yeah.
room treats.
Yeah. Your rider was just make you feel uncomfortable. And guess what? We did.
No,
Dude,
my
no,
rider just
stop
says
it. I don't-
underneath it, ride me. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to act like that, but I thought I was drinking regular cold Chicago tap water, or even whatever waters you have.
yeah, you were having
And then
cucumber,
it was
Voss, sparkling.
horrible.
Lime.
You like
Lime
that?
mint.
Do you
It's
like
lime
that?
mint. I like it with
Oh
vodka.
my god! By the way, you asked me like dumbest things I've ever had. That's the dumbest drink I've ever fucking had. Holy cunt! That was terrible. Ugh. I'm gonna have to go somewhere. I'm gonna have to get like a meal after this. Like a hot
Are you
dog.
okay?
Or maybe an Italian. I need something like Italian beef.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go get a breakfast.
Italian beef. You got
Syrup.
Austin over here, brother.
He's not Italian. He's
Hey, that's
Scottish.
Italian me. If you well, it tastes like he's Italian. Wink.
You're Scottish and that's it, or what else? Scottish, Irish, French. Okay, cool.
He's got that good old Irish.
20% anal.
Yeah.
Do you find it dumb that Americans go by their places of origin?
What do you mean by that?
You know, like I got like European friends who are always like, why are Americans always like, I'm 33% German and 15% Swedish and 20% Dutch, you know? And I was just wondering what your take on that was. Being a
No, I
foreigner.
think it's better than just. Sometimes I got the answer in high school. People were like, "I'm white." It's like, dude, like,
It's kind of a boring answer though.
yeah, like where are your parents from? Where are your grandparents from?
Yeah.
So I think 23andMe kind of changed all that too, like the DNA test.
Do you trust the accuracy of, is 23andMe the big one or is there another one?
23andMe was
Ancestry
the
and-
original one,
Oh, okay.
and now there's a bunch. But I've had friends who've done the compare and contrast on a couple of them, and it's gotten more reasonable. Like I think like 6 years ago it was like $400, and now I think it's like $99, $79.
Yeah.
You can get your test.
I was more about talking about the accuracy and stuff.
No, but people are saying it's fairly accurate.
Pretty accurate now? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
because
cool.
how else are they gonna copy your DNA and put them in robots and all that other stuff?
Oh,
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I know Ancestry.com, you could look over records and see like,
Yeah, I
here's
didn't get
the
that. That's
church
crazy.
records from 1600 or something, which is pretty nuts. But with, I know siblings who have gotten 23andMe and they don't come back equal. Like it's the same 5 things, but you could be more Italian than your sister. But like that means you inherited more of the Italian genes or more of the fucking German or whatever it is.
Or it means
Or-
mom was sticking her cookie in the cookie jar.
There it is.
I messed up.
Yeah.
Twins. I know twins who didn't have the same results. But they're twins.
Oh.
They look
Well,
the
that's
same and
lazy
all that.
nurses.
Well, yeah, maybe. But like, no, for real though.
Because they switched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
They're
might.
like, this one looks like this other one, I guess.
Dude, how many times do you think that happened at hospitals around the country?
Where twins get
so
switched?
per day, let's just say that all the way up to the 90s too.
Yeah.
Per day, how many hospitals are there in the country?
About 14,000?
So you have to.
That's
yes.
close to 14,000.
So
plus.
babies that was a mishap of like where went where, there's got to be at least 10 a day.
Right.
Maybe not now. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a much better.
Yeah. Do you think you
I like
were
how you're
switched?
going by like per capita.
Do you look like your family? Do you think you were switched? Is that why you're saying this?
I'm way taller than my mom and dad, but
Yeah.
my mom's brothers
It's weird
are
because your
like
last name's
6'2",
McGaffrey.
6'3", so yeah.
Oh, so you get her from there.
Yeah.
Your mom's 6'2", 6'3"?
Brothers, mother's.
My
brothers.
mom's brothers, my uncles.
Oh, okay. Well, you're like 6 foot.
I'm 5'10".
You're 5'10".
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest.
But well, what it says in the dating apps is 6'2", because I
You get
rise
the fuck
above.
out of here.
No,
Do you put that in your dating app? 6'2", but I rise
no,
above?
I don't use dating apps.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
That's weird because you're on. Yes, you do.
I'm not on anything.
Okay. Show us your phone. I'm kidding. You don't have
Oh.
to. What were you ever?
Yeah, up until like 5 years ago.
You seen what was the best line that you ever had that to open up
When
a-
they first came out,
Yeah.
I thought they were so funny, like dating apps 10 years ago. But then friends started meeting their wives on there, and like
Yeah.
I'm in weddings where they're like, we met on, Match. I could no longer. I didn't have the heart to make fun of it as much, even though I'm a comic. But when they first started, I thought it was such kind of like when Facebook first started. I thought it was an amazing thing. So I would message the girl, normal conversation, and then I'd say, hey, I was like, do you want to come over? I'll cook dinner. And some will say like, oh, that's not a bad idea. What do you cook? I was like, well, it depends what my mom's making. And she's like, what do you
Classic.
mean? And I was like, I live with my mom and dad, my grandfather, my sister. I was like, my sister has 2 kids, but I'm allowed to use the den 4 hours a night. I was like, so we can come over. I was like, I can introduce my goldfish.
Well, okay. If they asked what was your goldfish name, did you have that
so
set
many
up?
girls would say like, no, thank you, bye, or LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you trying not to get pussy? I don't understand.
I was using it for comedy.
comedy.
Comedy is more important to me at the time than,
Comedy's
clearly.
never been more important to me. Come go.
So another line that I'd use is like, do you want to come over and see my goldfish? I just thought it was so weird and so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably why I don't use it.
Is it because your dick's always flopping around?
No, it was I thought the goldfish was so funny.
Yeah, that is funny. Did you didn't put an LOL? You didn't put like a winky face afterwards?
No, I liked the commitment.
I like the idea of if you talk to any guys, we're all like, dude, I got the greatest line. And then the girls are just like, no, I just thought you were cute and I put up with it for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's never like,
Oh yeah, if you
I
actually
was so
talk to them
smooth on
about your
that.
line,
Yeah. You were never on the apps. If you were an app, what do you think would be, Joe? What would be your
Profile?
best opening line?
Hey, you
Opening
cunt.
line. I wouldn't need an opening line.
You wouldn't need it?
No.
What would be your opening
But
line?
I'm Ferris Bueller. Hi, Joe Kilgallon. How the hell are you? My name's Joe. What's your name? How you doing?
Is that what Ferris
up?
Bueller does? What's the reference?
The reference is at the end of the movie. Ferris
He would say I'm
Bueller.
33% this, 23%
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Ferris Bueller. At the
He's just
very
like, he's
end-
like, I'm skipping out of high school. You want to hang out?
No, man. You asked what it was. I'm about to tell you.
Oh,
So
okay.
just
Sorry.
let me tell you.
Yeah.
He's running home to try to beat his parents home, and he runs past 2 chicks who are. What's funny is in the movie they're supposed to be sunbathing, but there's clearly shade over them. Always made me laugh when I rewatch it. And they're in bikinis, and he runs by them, and then the camera just is still on them, and then he comes back on, "Hi, Ferris Bueller, how are you?" Hi, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's in a rush home,
Yeah.
but he's still too cool not to say what's up to 2 smoking hot babes in 80s bikinis.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant by being like, I'm Ferris Bueller. I don't need a line. I just say, "Hi, I'm
Okay.
Joe Kill fucking Gallon." I used to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Joe Kill fucking Gallon. I throw the F word in the middle of my name. Could you do that? Could you do that? I'm Chris Bay fucking Durr. Not really. I'm Jonah Jurkens. A little bit, maybe.
No.
Jur
that's
fucking
worse.
kins.
That's worse.
Yeah, you're jerking your
Fucking
kins.
kins. This
I feel like I'm
sounds
fucking
weird.
kids.
Yeah, fucking.
If fucking kins, that's like, oh, you're a kin? I'm going to
Let me
fuck
get out
that.
of
You're
the
a
shots.
kin
You talk
fucker?
about this.
Yeah. You're a kin. I'm going to fuck that. Uh-huh. Yeah. This fucking guy over here. This is insane.
What's insane, man?
You're insane.
Hey, tell me this. What is your favorite cereal? And then Joe and I are going to tell you what we think that says about you.
Fruity Pebbles.
You're straight as an arrow, brother.
Yeah, man. You are so confident in your cock.
Yeah, that's all that pussy.
Yeah, dude. Because Fruity Pebbles, you'd think that would mean something else. Like, oh, maybe he's got a secret. No, man. Anyone who's like, dude, so like if you're at a restaurant that serves cereal, and they're like, what cereal do you want right now? Any cereal in the world, you're like, Fruity Pebbles. That whole restaurant takes notice and says, this is a wise man. We should follow his portfolio. That's what that says. Yeah, man. I like that. It's good. What's your favorite cereal, Jonah? Huh? Total?
Huh?
Piece of shit. Anyway, we all know
Did you
Austin
just call me a total
likes-
piece of shit?
We know Austin likes Apple Jacks or some dumb thing like that.
Dude, Austin, he just had tried a peach for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's not talk about our producer. Let's have a camera on him or a microphone. I'm sorry, man. I'm putting my hand on your shoulder. You got good shoulders, dude.
I do. I'm top heavy.
What's your favorite cereal?
The podcast cereal.
What are you? What is that?
Oh my god.
What's
I don't
your
really have.
favorite-
I don't have
you
like.
You don't have a favorite cereal?
No, I like Trix. I like Trix.
Trix.
Honestly, I love Trix. Trix is great, and I'm not a big cereal guy.
I'll
I'm
tell
not a
you.
breakfast guy.
See, Fruity Pebbles means you're a confident man. Trix means we should pay attention to you.
Well,
Yeah.
Joe probably has cereal now because he has kids.
All right.
It's not
I've
like, I
always
haven't
had
had
cereal. I've been
So what's
obsessed with
the
cereal
hot
my
new
whole
cereal
life.
right now?
I'm Jerry Seinfeld when it comes to cereal. I've been obsessed.
So what's the
I
kid
have
cereal
a
right
wide
now?
variety. On top of my fridge right now, Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puffs, and Honey Nut Cheerios. That's the one healthy cereal I have up there, Honey Nut Cheerios. But Captain Crunch might be my all-time favorite. You know what I mean? I'm a military guy, after all. I'm from the military. I've never served. I think that's a waste of time. I don't know why people do it, but I respect them and I support them. You know,
They put themselves in
my
danger.
grandfather was in.
They really put themselves in danger.
They do.
They really do. Yeah,
I
they-
don't
it's
know.
unnecessary.
It's
Do
all
you get
necessary,
Captain
like, yeah.
Crunch
Yeah.
when you're on a
I mean,
fucking
like
ship
this
carrier?
podcast
I don't
alone,
know.
we support. The
Let
troops.
somebody else
Yeah,
fight for
no,
the country.
Yeah.
I do support the
I think so. My
troops.
grandfather was
That's
a
why they have
bombardier.
bombs.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
grandfather was a judge
Bomb the
advocate general in the
masses
Navy.
instead of
Yeah,
send
yeah.
the masses.
I mean, my grandfather had a Purple Heart.
You ever see the TV show Jag? That's what my grandfather was.
Did you ever see the movie Behind Enemy Lines? My grandfather got shot behind enemy lines, and he had to survive. And it's kind of based
Wasn't
on
your
his life.
grandfather on the other side though? I thought.
He was the good side.
You ever seen Indecent Proposal?
With Woody Harrelson, I love that movie. Demi Moore.
Has
yeah.
your
That's like what your grandfather
Has your
did?
heritage ever been in wars?
Yeah, the Iran war lasted 8 years. 45 years ago, the Islamic Republic came in and got rid of the monarch.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's been a 2-year unrest, almost civil war in Iran because they want to overthrow the Islamic regime.
I've heard of Iran, yeah.
And at one point, my mom and her sister didn't talk for a year.
Seriously?
Your mom and your sister?
My
Her
mom
sister?
and her sister didn't
Oh,
talk
I'm
for a year,
sorry, dude,
so
that
that would be
sucks, dude.
war.
What
was the-
son of a you motherfucker, dude? You fucking had me. I thought he meant that like his mother and sister were like you're on the different sides of the Iran war.
Right.
You know, like the war was split right down the middle, and she was like a block or two.
No,
over.
they were like on different sides of like what something cost at Marshall Fields, and
Oh yeah. I used to work in
Is that what the
accessories
argument
at
was?
Marshall Fields.
because like it was like who brought more rice to the party.
Uh-huh. Is that a big thing in your family? Who brings the most amount of rice?
Yeah, it's like
You kinda weigh it?
You have a picnic and like
You bring rice to a picnic?
No, your wife only brings so many chicken salad sandwiches. And
You're
it's like,
switching things now.
you have
from
enough
rice
for
to chicken.
seconds. Well, I'm trying to.
It seems like you're
translate it
lying
to you.
right now.
I'm trying to translate it to
Oh,
you.
you're making it white now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to white it down.
Thank you for doing that. I understand things better now. That's very good.
If you had a vagina, what kind of vagina would you have?
Landing strip.
You think so?
That's pubic hair.
Is that because
But-
is that
Well,
because
you're asking. You didn't be specific.
No, I said vagina. But
So what would it look like? Like what are you saying? What kind?
Yeah, what would it look like? And landing strip helps, right? Don't you?
But you're saying what
Do you think landing
kind?
strip's a good answer? To
Guys,
that
are there
question?
kinds of vaginas?
you tell us? What's you're the pussy hound here in this group?
Chris? Have you?
I'm not a
I'm kidding.
gynecologist.
Have you seen a vagina before? Have you?
Yeah, there are some
You're a guy. I love it.
that are a hot dog in a hallway. There are some that are smelly. There are some that you're surprised at their age that nothing can fit.
Yeah.
There are some that are hairier than others.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that taste better than others.
Checks out. Yeah.
Yeah. What are the names on that?
There are some that lubricate faster than others.
Mm-hmm.
Best vagina you've ever smelled in your life? Name and address. Go.
Name of the dress?
Name and address. Go.
Oh, 416 Creekside Court, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Rosa.
Her name was Rosa.
Yeah, she was the cleaning lady.
Oh, Rosa's got that good snatch. By the way, snatch is my least favorite of all the things to refer to a vagina. That's just lowbrow. I don't like it. It's
I don't even say
negative.
vagina. I just say pussy.
Pussy's the best. I think at this point, we had a female guest last week. Maybe we'll get another one next week. And
Not after this
we'll
episode.
ask them, what's your favorite thing to be? What of all the things to call a penis, what's your favorite and least favorite?
Pee-pee is my favorite.
Because it's like
Cock
fun,
is
so
my least favorite.
Yeah.
Why not? Why don't you like show your work? Why not?
Show my work.
Yeah, like why don't you like cock?
I just feel it's too abrasive. Pee-pee is like light-hearted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if a woman says to you, I want that cock, or says, let me get that pee-pee, which you prefer?
I would prefer her to say, let me get that pee-pee.
Yeah.
And then say, turn that pee-pee into a cock.
If a girl said, "Let me get that pee-pee," what is your response? Like, what's the vagina response?
I already
to
went.
pee-pee?
I already went. I don't have to go right now.
Yeah.
Because pee-pee
Yeah.
sounds too much like I gotta
Yeah.
take a pee-pee. That's why pee-pee is not my favorite. Cock, I agree with you. That CK sound cock. It's too much. And sometimes when women are like, I've seen porn where they're like, slap me with your cock, and it's like, how about I pleasure you with it, and I don't want to leave bruises on those cheekbones. You know what I mean?
Or if they're like,
also,
give me
use
that
so much
dick.
makeup on your face. I'm gonna get makeup on my dong from doing that, right? I'm surprised you don't see that more often. Makeup from the porno star's face on the man's pee-pee, as Chris calls it.
Yep.
Right? There's so much body makeup on. These are the things I think about. Why aren't you guys thinking about these things? So,
So when you're watching porn, you're just like, God, you know what? This isn't realistic. Yeah.
too much makeup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, so no to pee-pee, no to cock. I think I like dick. And if it was like,
we all know you do.
no, that's not bad.
What's the
I prefer that when someone calls a penis a dick.
What's the dumbest purchase under $100 that you've made in your life?
Under 100?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Thank you for asking the questions.
Good. A notebook to write stand-up comedy jokes. It's really stupid.
What's your answer on this?
You got to answer. I asked.
See, I have like dumbest I have under 1,000.
Okay,
is,
just do 1,000. Under
Yeah, because
1,000.
under 100, that's a million.
because it just sticks out. Is I bought the nudie photo hunt.
What's a nudie photo hunt?
So nudie photo hunt.
The
So
bar
a
games.
lot of bars have that nudie photo hunt where it's like, what's the difference? And you're like, oh, this tit looks a little different than that tit, or this pee looks a little different than that pee, or this cock looks a little different than
the
that
thing
cock.
you played at the bar, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So in Chicago, all the bars, you know this, a lot of the bars, they allow like the gambling machines. So now everyone's selling the nudie photo hunts, and I've always wanted one, and they're selling on eBay for under 1,000. And I bought one, and it's the greatest purchase I've ever made in my whole entire life. I love it.
It's fun.
It's
That was not
amazing.
a dumb purchase then, though.
But it's stupid. It's just like people.
So
are like,
like
what
you
the fuck
played
is
in your
this?
room?
Stupid. It brings you
Oh,
joy.
it's my kitchen right now.
It's in the kitchen.
You didn't see
counter,
it?
man. You didn't notice
Yeah.
it?
You wanna
Real
play it?
quick. How is that dumb or stupid if it brings people joy and everyone likes it?
Because
Everyone
it's
gets
a stupid purchase. It is a stupid purchase, but I love the purchase. My favorite things in the world
No,
is
you're-
like if I have the money, I want to buy things where people are just like, why? You know what I mean? Like the shotgun,
like the whiskey.
the shotgun whiskey, yeah, shotgun vodka, yeah, I'll buy that because people are like, why? I'm like, because it's stupid. It's a stupid thing to buy, and it makes me laugh, and that's all that matters. What's your answer on that?
I bought dumbbells.
Uh-huh.
The ones that, you know, where you could, there's the slits where it like goes upper or high
Yeah.
during like peak COVID. Because like the gym
so it's
was
like-
closed, everything. I
yeah.
was like, dude, I'm gonna be 400 pounds. I was like, I should get some dumbbells.
Yeah.
And then I was like buying these like internet workout things, and like they had dumbbells. I was like, I'll get these. It was $350.
Right. So it's
Still
not
sitting there. Never
Really?
used it
You
once.
use them at all?
Sounds-
You know what I did during COVID? I was like, I love Dance Dance Revolution, and I bought a PlayStation 2, and I bought 2 pads, and I bought all the Dance Dance Revolution games. Didn't even play it once. Not at all. But I'm so excited, and I almost bought Rock Band. It's my Rock Band. But those rocketed to like $1,000 for during COVID, which is so. But it's like this. It's like that'd be so silly if I had that for just like a little bit. You know what I mean? I love that. Under $100 when I was a child, I bought Amazing Jonathan, who's a comedian, magician from the 90s, early 2000s. Unfortunately, passed away.
recently,
Yeah, passed away. He had a magic kit that you could buy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and that was my mom's gift to me.
That's
It was
not
like that.
dumb, though. Again, that's a lovely, fun thing to do.
Yeah, but it's like, what is
I feel like Chris asked, "What's your dumbest or stupidest purchase?" and you proceeded to just talk.
But
about
I'm
all
proud
the
of my
awesome
dumb
shit
purchases.
you
I
own.
love.
But they're
dumb
not
purchases.
dumb though.
So what's your
Yeah,
answer?
here, I want you to phrase it again so he understands. Ask me, what's the
No,
dumbest
I
thing you've ever
understood what he
bought?
said.
What's the dumbest thing you ever bought?
But a house. It's not a dumb thing to buy. You just that's the equivalent to you. We asked what's the dumbest thing you ever bought, and you were like, "It's a really awesome game in which you get to see tits." Okay, cool. What's the other dumb thing
Hey,
you bought?
fine,
When I was a kid, I
I
got this
figured it out.
awesome magic
Fine.
set.
What's
Like,
the
I don't
dumbest
understand
response
that.
you've ever given to the dumbest question podcast?
Okay, I figured it out. Okay, under $100. Here it is. Joe, are you okay? What is the fuck is happening
No,
with
I'm
you
totally
today?
okay, but I just want to point out that you don't listen to his question. Dumbest thing I've ever bought under $100? Condoms. So dumb. Have you had sex with condoms on?
Yeah.
It makes sex so much worse. Like, it's just like, it's like getting a steak. Wearing condoms is like a steak well done. And then without a condom is like fucking rare, medium rare. Medium rare, let's say. Because rare, you don't really know.
Are
rare's
you
better.
promoting everyone barebacking everyone?
Fuck yeah. But you just make sure you're.
You must be
pull out.
Catholic.
No, because I'm pro-choice. Do what you gotta do, but you gotta know how to pull out. You gotta know how to do that. You know what I mean? Like that's. But I couldn't think of anything else.
What about all the other risks?
Because I bought what other risk?
Sexually transmitted diseases.
I mean,
I don't support those.
where are you hanging out? Yeah, boo. I don't like STDs. So
Yeah.
if you don't support them, you can't get them.
But I'm not against people get them because you know what? I don't kink shame anybody.
Shot of penicillin, you're good to go next weekend. Pretty sure.
Or Ozempic.
This is the dumbest podcast.
This is the dumbest episode we've ever had. I'll tell you that.
Is it?
Oh, for
I
sure.
feel
It's
like,
not.
I feel like this has been pretty good.
Yeah, wait till you re-listen to it. It's gonna be insane for you. it's gonna be a different experience for you. I tell you that. Once you realize how much whiskey you've been drinking this whole time, it's insane. I love it. It's great. It's adorable. And you are staying at my house tonight.
No, I'm totally fine. I'm definitely not staying at your house tonight. I have responsibility in the morning and at night, probably. I think I got to buy goldfish crackers. Got to go to the grocery store and get goldfish crackers. Dude, every store, they make up the product. Like the prices on goldfish crackers, I swear to God, every store acts like the airport with it. You walk in there and you're like, oh, they should be about $3.49 for this smallest bag. The really big family size is like $5.49. And then like the fuck you, we're having these all week bag. That's like fucking $11. You go into like a Jewel one day, the $3.49, it costs like $7. And then the one that's just a little bit above that will be cheaper than that one. And they try to fuck with you. And you're looking at the prices and you're doing math throughout the whole aisle. And before you know it, you get that store's closing in 5 minutes. And you're like, how, like, what the fuck are you going, like, what, you have better shit to do? Fucking ring up my shit. But they don't ring up your shit anymore, Chris Bader, because what they have is self-checkout. And they encourage you, these stupid fucking idiot employees, right? That's right. I'm looking at you. If you work at a place that has self-checkout and you go, the self-checkout's open, you might as well say, I don't like having a job. I can't wait to go back to my loser fucking existence and then bitch and vote for the wrong people, probably. Like, that's how it is. And I go to there. You know what I did one time? Because I'm so fucking annoyed with the self-checkout. And I had a lot of small items, right? I had to collect all the items in your poorly laid out store. Now I got to, I know this is borderline a Bill Burr joke, but now I got to ring them up myself. So here's what I did. I told them, I go, oh, can you ring them up? And they go, oh no, the self-checkout's open. I looked right at them. I go, I don't know how to read. That's what I said to them. And they just looked at me blankly for a few seconds. I'm like, I can't ring myself up because I can't read. I said that. And everyone got quiet around. I think one guy smirked because he knows I was lying. He knows I was lying. But like, I wasn't going to ring that shit up. Okay? I have a fucking family. I don't work for them. So I made the guy ring it up. I fucking made him. And I think he caught me reading a couple times because when you ring up the one thing, I'm like, that's fucking 2 for $5. And I feel like I'm not getting that. I didn't see that ring up. I didn't see the discount ring up. And he looked at me like, oh, someone can read. And I said, what was that? And I coughed, Yelp review, and they shut the, you know what I mean? They fucking, he did it better, and then he bagged me. But these people, what are you doing, right? What say you, Chris Bader?
Chris, do you have a story that's like that?
No, I would just, if there was this pricing war, I would kind of look at the expiration date and see what I could hoard for the goldfish.
Is there a cartoon character you'd fuck? I asked that question last week. I'm just
realizing. Yeah, isn't that one woman from Bugs Bunny?
When Bugs Bunny dresses up like a girl bunny?
No, the Dick Tracy.
Lola?
The Dick Tracy.
I would fuck Lola Bunny.
Right? What was her?
Doggy style. That way her fucking bunny tail's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was my answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird. That's the first thing that pops.
Well, that was the thing that like turned us on when we were a kid.
Is it the boobs or the butt? Because she had both.
Little Mermaid was pretty cute too.
Yeah,
but I think she's 9 in the movie.
Yeah,
so.
but her vagina was a little fishy.
You talking about Little Mermaid?
Yeah. I hate it. I didn't like it either. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Under the like sea as in cunt.
You think that was? Have you ever seen one of those things where they like break down all the
like the sex stuff that's in there?
Yeah, all the sex stuff.
Yeah, like, there's a boner right there. There's a boner. You're like, okay, cool. I guess I don't know.
It's just like
Shrek had jokes for adults.
Conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory? You got a lot in there, huh?
No, I don't have a lot. I'm not a 9/11 truther. I mean, this is all gonna be censored if you guys put it on YouTube, but I'm not a 9/11 truther at all. I do think, I think some of the stuff that happened during COVID was goofy.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like what? You're a smart guy. You know a lot of smart people.
No, I don't know. I just think some of the stuff was goofy. I think, like, when everyone was getting encouraged to, like, boost their kids, like, I was like, this is getting silly.
Yeah.
Like, kids under 6. Because if you statistically would just look at whatever article, leaning left or right, the amount of kids, obviously, people, if you told a parent, there was 1 in a billion chance that their kid would get sick and die. The parent had a possible 1 in 1 million chance to put this serum in them to prevent it. The parent would do it.
Yeah.
And also, but I thought the drug companies were feeding on panicking parents,
right?
Like the fear in that way. And I think in that way, sometimes some of that stuff was goofy to me.
Well, they were working on what's the word?
The mRNA vaccine for
Yeah, they're working on
Yeah.
it because it's a different strain. Everything's a different strain of stuff. Like people don't even realize that when you had a little bronchitis yesterday, that could have been the 1 billionth different strand of the Spanish flu from 1918. Like the strands of the Spanish flu from 1918 are still out there in the world.
Sure.
It's just so weak. The thing is with these viruses is the more they mutate and the strands get weaker and weaker and weaker. And they kind of all knew that. And there's different aspects of COVID that was just a little bit like, oh, they didn't need to do this. I'm like, yeah, they didn't need to, but you don't know for sure. Like they shut down schools. So during the first wave or so, when it didn't affect kids, it's because kids weren't really out, you know? And it was more like safe than sorry type of thing. Yeah, that's just how I know it. And Omicron was the blessing of all the variants because all the doctors discovered, oh shit, this variant, the Omicron variant, is insanely infectious. Like it spreads. It's insanely contagious. It was the most it was way more contagious.
Yeah, I
than
got
Delta.
that one.
It shut
Yeah,
down.
I got-
I mean,
after
it shut
I was
down,
vaccinated, I
it
got
shut
it,
down
yeah.
Chicago comedy.
Yeah,
Like, it
so-
shut down the comedy community.
But for a real short period of time.
Yeah, for like 3
way
weeks,
short.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Omicron was incredibly contagious, but a weak ass strand. Because I remember being like, oh, I felt bad for like a day and a half. I've had worse coughs like when I was younger and all that stuff. I had a few friends be like, you know, I was fully vaccinated though, so it was fine. But my wife, who was a nurse, she said the only people who died in her hospital during Omicron were people who weren't vaccinated. If you were vaccinated, it felt like nothing to you. And then that was what really gave us the herd immunity that you could argue we could have tried to go for originally. But again, it was one of those things where it's like, we think it could be this, but if we're wrong, then it's like fucking, we're talking tens of millions of deaths as opposed to the million or two we had.
I wasn't.
Not that you were disagreeing.
I'm
I'm talking in general here.
I was pro-vaccinating, and then I just thought when it came the booster, and then people boosting their kids, like kids under 5, and I saw it kind of firsthand. Like if you're like.
We boosted my kid, and he has a dick to his knees now. It's unreal.
That's a great side effect.
It's a crazy side effect. He
Right.
talks back a little bit too, which I was told was a side effect.
Of having a big dick?
And now he breakdances too. I don't know. Those are the 3 things that.
Sure.
No, by the way, you made it weird. By the way, the breakdancing was normal, but the big dick thing, you made it weird. I feel like I was just doing random things, and breakdancing can be to any culture.
Joe, you said the big dick thing. Do you think that I said that?
No, I know what I said. I said the big dick thing, but then you said, did he use a big dick? And then that made my fucking verbiage all crazy. You slide in one thing there, it changes the next thing the person says.
Right.
You understand that, right?
Yeah, you say my son has a big dick, and I go, your son has a big dick, and you go, and then you say something else. You go, you made it weird. I'm like, I made it weird.
No, that's not what it was. You said it's a wonderful side effect, and
We should check the tapes.
You should.
that needs to be something we
back.
do. Actually, spend another
Yeah.
$8,000 in here so we could get playback like it's instant replay on a fucking NFL game or any game now that matters, right? Could you? Thanks, Austin.
What are you looking up there, bud? You're looking up butts. Why did you have
I
butts
opened
on
up
there?
Instagram and a butt showed up.
Yeah, so Joe opens up. So Joe
Why
was
are
on
you
his
looking at
phone.
my phone, man? I was going to look up another question for Chris.
Delete this
but
part. Delete this
now
part.
it's gone. No, it's not like, look, okay, first of all, everyone who has Instagram knows Instagram now shows you videos you don't even follow anymore, or if accounts you don't follow anymore. Instagram.
So you did
only.
follow those.
No, I didn't follow that.
So
account.
so
It
you
showed
just
me.
said Instagram shows you accounts that you don't follow anymore. So that means that you follow a lot of big butts.
Like, I mean, anymore, like they never did before. Like,
Right.
you don't like.
So you did follow a lot of big butts, and you cannot lie.
Yeah, the Explore page. No, I don't explore those on the Explore page. I hate Instagram's Explore page. You go on there going like, I want to look up someone's photos from their trip that I heard about. You click on the fucking magnifying glass, and all they show you is ass and tits. And I don't click on any of them, and they keep showing it to me. That's why TikTok is the most popular one. They show you the shit you like. Like I love TikTok. I wish I was on it right now. But instead, I'm here talking to Jonah and Chris, and you're giggling at me. You know what I'm saying?
What's the dumbest thing? Let's wrap this up.
The dumbest thing I ever did? Decide to do
What's the
another
dumbest
podcast
thing-
after 9 have failed.
What's the
This
dumbest
was the
thing-
one.
Well, no. How about this? Wait, hold on a second. We're getting into the meat here. 9 have failed. What do you mean by that?
All the podcasts I've done have not been hits.
Oh, your podcast.
All mine, yeah.
Why do you think that is? Where do you think that goes?
It could be me. You're saying it's me?
No.
Have you had a hit podcast before this
I
one?
have,
Don't
actually.
tell me the Bachelorette one is a hit. Okay? Okay, it's such a niche.
Well, it's not a
You
Bachelor.
could
It's
get
also a
38
Bachelor and Bachelor in
lists.
Paradise.
You get 38 hits and you're a top 10. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
How many, whatever, dude. Why do I think my previous podcasts have been bad? I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Do you think I should have an answer for that?
No, I was just
don't.
wondering. I thought you meant our 9 episodes. That's what I
No,
thought.
I
thought
said
heard
my
you.
other 9 podcasts, like the other ones I've hosted in the past.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think of the 9.
Does that bother you?
So this is episode. Of course it does. This is episode 10, and you're asking me if I think the other 9 have been good.
Uh-huh.
I think of the other 9, 5 have been probably pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad, really. I like to be a little higher. but
What
it's
was your
getting there.
favorite?
Last week's Daily Draft Post, I think, was the funniest one we've done.
No, of your 5 podcasts. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You asked me what my favorite was. I just
Yeah,
told
that
you.
was good. I'm sorry, Mr. Nursery.
How high are you right now?
Huh? I'm not.
You're not?
No. I'm afraid of drugs. They scare me.
You're afraid of marijuana. Why?
I did marijuana when I was 13 in
Sound
the
like
park.
a fucking narc. You did marijuana? Let's hear more.
They told me it
about
was a primo bag, which means they like sprinkle cocaine on it or something. And then I felt like when you feel your heart on a roller coaster, like you're losing your stomach, that would happen to me like every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I had to call my mom and pick me up, and I told her I was high.
Really? Well, like, what was like the low dosage that still would fuck you up?
I did like, I don't know, 4 hits. I was in the park.
Okay.
I was 90 pounds.
I did like a 10 milligram thing with my cousin, and I've never been. I can't even fucking handle that. When like
Yeah,
we have friends that do like 100 milligrams.
Cause like massive paranoia. I've never
It's
done
like-
edible.
I had to put on my phone. I googled like how long would this last, and it was like 3 hours. I was like, great. And I put on the alarm clock.
The timer, yeah. Did it work?
And
Was it
no,
3
because
hours?
everything I look at it, I'm like, it's been 2 minutes. I feel like I watched 3 movies. The fuck is going on? I wanted to kill myself. I can't handle it. I'm so bad. So I'm slowly like doing it now. Well, I'll take like 2.5 here or there. I'm trying to get like
What
build
is
my
2.5
tolerance up.
milligrams? Does it give you chill?
Well, here's the thing. Is like
It's very
I
low dose.
realized I got used to it because like I took all of a sudden I was like, I'm fucking hungry. And then I ordered all this candy. I never eat candy and all this ice cream, and I started eating it. And I'm like, I never fucking crave this. I go, oh, I'm high as shit right now. I didn't realize because 2.5, I'm finally getting used to 2.5 like a bitch. 2.5 is a bitch number. But like, especially for how much I weigh, I weigh 360 pounds. That's crazy. If you say yes to that, I'll fucking hit you in the face. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I can't do it. That was my story.
No, it's a good story, man. I want to know though, what kind of candy do you get when you're high? Are you a Skittles man?
Ooh, good question. I got
Because, you're a
the
Trix guy.
the Nerds gummy, with the gummy nerds, the nerds around it,
Oh,
and then
that's
the Sweet Tarts, like Twix thing.
See, I don't like that kind of like
What do you
that
like?
candy. Twizzlers is the only thing for me. But like,
Do you like to use a straw?
no, I haven't done that in a while.
I love drinking.
In like Cokes and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, as a goof, I'll drink whiskey.
Yeah.
out of it like
Oh,
that 'cause
really?
I think it's funny. Yeah,
I think it's too contrast, but
it is.
I do like cookie dough ice cream
Love it.
or like
it's good.
Twix after you put in a freezer, or Reese's when you put them in the freezer.
Oh, so you like it? You like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
a
that.
pastries guy. Little Debbie Hostess. I love their whole most of.
If they're not-
I'm a big cheesecake guy, but other than
Really?
that, like I don't crave sweets.
Oh, I do.
I mean,
I crave
I
like,
never do.
all the cravables, just not sweets.
Yeah. So the Reese's peanut butter cups, are you eat around the side, peel off all the chocolate, or you thumb?
No,
thumb
like
through
you know the
middle?
smaller ones that they give for Halloween candy.
Yeah.
not the huge cups.
Yeah.
I'll get a bag of that and I'll put them in my refrigerator,
Okay.
and then so they're cold and I just pop them.
My problem is I try to make that ball as big as possible. That's why I know I'm getting fat. Where I'm just like trying to make that like.
Oh, you make them into a ball?
Yeah. Yeah. And then when it gets to this size, I'm like, I think I've had enough for an hour. That's
Oh my
insane.
God, dude.
Yeah.
That's a sick ball.
That's why I can't have it there anymore.
Well, I've had a ball today with both of you.
Uh-huh.
This
The
has
best
been a
time I've ever
ball.
had in my whole entire life.
Ball.
It's a ball. Chris Bader.
In the
dude.
baller's house.
Chris Bader, buddy, man. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for
Tell-
having me, Joe and
can you
Jonah.
Tell the listeners.
JJ.
Tell the listeners where they can hear your podcast and where they can follow you.
JJ. Guys, if you can please go on YouTube to I am Bobak, Baubak.
Which is
I
Chris's
am.
real name.
Yeah, Bobak is my real name, Baubak, or Instagram Chris Bader Comedy. And we have a podcast called the Bobak Podcast. We've done about 35 episodes. We're about to rebrand it into same Kyle Scanlon and I, who's awesome, super funny,
Incredible.
one of my very
We
close
had
friends.
Kyle on a couple
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Guess the
So
podcast.
Kyle will be doing it with me still, but we're just gonna change it to more what we like to eat what we like to do is we just sit around and eat. So we'll be sitting around and eating.
I
Great.
love that clip you guys
I love that.
posted. You and a comedian friend of ours, Sorab, were eating your people's
Yeah,
food.
Persian food.
And Scanlon was just like,
My
this stuff
people.
sucks. And you guys just look at him like, you piece of shit. And it kind of just made me laugh. You know what I mean? Because being white these days, we're constantly told that our food is garbage and we don't season our food and all that other shit. And it just makes me laugh because I'm like, I mean, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, like fucking beef sandwiches, turkey sandwiches,
Right.
like also there's a lot of great white people food. Cinnabon,
Yeah.
what's up, right? You know, pizza.
So as a
white
white person, how does that
you
make
know,
you feel?
That's the only time I ever have a tremendous.
Dude, it's the white people food is like
No, but
the
it's
white
just
kids'
become-
houses that I would go
become
to
hack these
was a
days.
Jewel kitchen, a Jewel chicken, and like peas and carrots in a can. And then like my mom made dinner. It's like your mom didn't. Your mom's fucking lazy.
Right.
This is what we had. Like, you know, and supper's at 3 p.m. I'm like, why am I here at 3?
Who eats?
We eat
the
at
white
9
people
p.m.
you know at supper at 3 p.m.
It'd be like 4:30 p.m.
No,
Yeah.
5:30 was the earliest.
Yeah, that
5
was
if you're
early.
really little. You go to
Persian,
bed by
you
8.
eat it like 8:30. Our parents didn't care. We just fall asleep on
God.
the floor.
That's,
Dad would
that's
kick
true.
you.
That's true. There are certain cultures
Yeah.
where you'll be as a white person.
Everything
I'll say
we
this,
had.
You'll be driving around being like, why the fuck are those children
Yeah.
out right now?
Yeah, all the
we do
brown,
have
the
that.
brown kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just up
Or just like, whatever.
because they're up working. America, you need to fucking
You
work.
guys need to be.
It was built on the backs of Browns.
This is why you're like a giant for the Browns, because you slept more than the other ones. I always felt like in my head, I remember being really young, being like, why am I taller than all of these kids that have Puerto Rican and Mexican like bloodlines, right? And I'm like, oh, now I know they never got enough sleep because they
Right.
were out running the
The
streets.
pituitary
Yeah.
gland
Yeah,
is
yeah.
messed up.
Yeah, you gotta
'cause they're
sleep.
out working.
No.
Get some sleep.
So why else?
I love you. I'm related to a lot of you. Mi casa, su casa, right?
Get that pussy.
What?
because it's,
Yeah.
yeah. What other thoughts?
Ariel.
you have?
My house is your house. That's what mi casa, su casa means.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jonah's not cultured like you and I, Chris.
No.
No, dude, I'm a big fan of the culture. Yeah.
Thanks for having me,
So-
JJ.
Do you think that you think they're normally smaller? Why is that?
Well, first of all, why do you say small and point to your hat? I meant like height wise.
Okay.
And no,
you
I
think
don't
that's like a
know.
culture thing, or what do you think that is?
It was a joke because Chris said they're out late at night, and I
Okay.
then said they're not sleeping enough.
Right.
It's a fun generalization. You doing the interview is what makes it so that people on the internet are gonna be like, "Oh my God, Joe Kilgallon thinks this." It's not what I think. Okay, I had a friend named Gomez who was 6'7". Okay,
Jesus, that's a tall
so
guy.
very tall fucking guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I haven't talked to him in a long time. But if
Why
you're
don't you talk
listening,
to him?
G-Mez, miss you.
Ice.
You grow apart as you
Yeah.
get older. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean? You
happens.
grow apart as you get closer to people too. You know, you start to see them weekly, and you're like, oh, "What are we doing here with our everything?" You know,
Uh-huh. Well, when you say that, what are you referring to?
I'm talking in generalizations. Obviously,
Oh,
do you not
yeah.
know what that means?
Right. Yeah.
You
You're
think
real
everything
subtle.
is something? You
Yeah.
think everything is something?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I itch my knee, and you go, "Oh my God, he must be depressed." I don't understand why you read into everything.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm not okay. You know what's annoying? I asked if you guys would do comedy all over again, and you both said yes, but neither of you had the decency to follow up going, "Joe, would you?" It happened
You said
several
no.
times. No, I did not.
Okay. How about this, Joe? Would you do comedy over again?
No.
Why not?
I wouldn't. I'd become like a fireman or something more
No.
stable.
Why wouldn't you do it?
What
What was my question?
No, I probably would have gone into broadcasting
Yeah.
because I know what I know. What I know is I probably just wanted attention, like most comedians. You get in it because you want attention.
Uh-huh.
And then you grow older and wiser, and you know, oh my God, there's so many better ways to have gotten attention. Like I could have gone to like broadcasting school, and I could have
Right.
been like an anchor on like the fucking 4:30 p.m. news, and that would have been the same thrill for me as making people laugh. It's
Exactly.
less work because I don't have to write the shit.
And it's
Now I have
it's,
to write it. Other people write your copy that way. You know?
it's not as crowded as comedy. There's not that many straight white broadcasters.
No, it's not.
not
That's
right
true.
now. They're dipping.
From the Midwest.
They're dipping.
Right.
Well, I would have had the fireman thing to fall back on, like I mentioned, most likely, even though that sounds fine and dandy. Because there's not really that many major fires anymore, right?
Right.
How often does things get burnt down? Right? And even if so, if it's like really shitty
I mean, I know of
building,
one
you
thing
just
that's
go,
getting
let it
burnt
burn.
down.
What?
Nothing.
No, you could say it.
Venezuela.
No guts.
Yeah, Venezuela.
Is Venezuela going to burn down?
Thank
I
you
don't
for
wanna hear
being on
that.
top of things. Yeah.
I love Wilson Contreras. Did you say your social media handles?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. JJ podcast or the Are You Okay podcast.
Are You Okay would be an interesting podcast. The answer is yeah, I'm good. That's the thing. The more I feel, the more clarity I have sometimes, people think I'm not in a good mood. I don't know why.
What's your? I'm not.
Because
I'm not
you-
fucking with you. But what's your
because
clarity
people-
right now? I promise I'm not fucking with you.
It's just, not much matters. You should just live for happiness and not worry about the other stuff.
Yeah.
Try to be as present as possible, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and, just like knowing what the risk to reward ratio on things. And then when you're in that state of mind, you start to think to yourself, like, do I enjoy this or do I just keep doing it because I've been doing it so long? And it's like, it becomes like any other job though, at a certain point where, people who are like, do you even like, you might meet a mechanic. Do you still like fixing cars, or have you just been doing it so long, you're going to keep fixing cars? And some of them might be like, I fucking hate cars, but I know how to do it and I get work doing it. So I'll probably just keep doing it because starting something new seems like a pain in the ass. So you're in it, know? And when you say that about a thing like comedy, people really think like, oh my God, are you okay? And it's like, no, I am okay. I'm great actually. But they're like, how could you be great if you don't like the thing that we all think you should love? And then then you get a headache trying to explain it to them because it's their own shit. Because then they think, will I fall in love out of the thing I currently love? If it could happen to him, maybe it'll happen to me. And then they start badgering you about your shit when really it's their shit they're concerned about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the dumbest podcast on the internet right now. I'll tell you what. And thank you for listening, everybody. For Jonah Jurkens, Chris Bader, I'm Joe Kilgallon. Let's get dumb.